Hello, troopers, and welcome to the 501st Com Chatter. I am Chloe, and
Hello.
this is Will.
Will here. How are we doing?
How are you guys doing? We have 3 episodes to break down today. Very exciting times, very good episodes. We also have not much news, but some really cool news. So
Very
we'll let you
cool
know that
news.
as well. We're very excited to get into today's episode. Would you like to start off with the news?
I can start off with the news. I hope we're all having a good week as well. Hope you all have enjoyed Bad Batch. Again, we probably shouldn't have to tell you this, but spoilers ahead in case you haven't watched episodes 1, 2, or 3.
Yep.
So
if you haven't watched, then please come back later.
Yeah, because there will be spoilers. And yeah, we can also talk about our bingo predictions. Maybe one of us has got one scratched off, maybe 2 of us, maybe. Who knows? But yeah, so
we'll get into that in a bit.
But okay, we're going to start off with the little news. I haven't got a picture of it. There was a leak of the new Keller and Beck minifig.
The Lego one.
Yep. It's just a normal sort of Jedi minifig, but he has got the sort of like patterned like robe bit. Comes with a blue and a green lightsaber. So yeah, he's going to be from the Rescue Grogu set. So I think it's like Kellerin, Grogu, and 2 501st troopers, I believe. But yeah, it's quite cool that we're getting a Kellerin back. You know, something different.
Yeah. If you guys don't know who Kellerin Beck is, because sometimes people don't know the character by name.
True.
He's the guy that saved Grogu from Order 66. He's also the same actor that played Jar Jar Binks in the prequels.
Ahmed Bast.
Ahmed Bast.
So yeah, that's that they've announced.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Oh, another thing I haven't got a photo of, but they have released, or they're going to be releasing, a vintage collection special 4 set with Clone Wars Ahsoka and the 3 droids at the end of the Clone Wars in the like last little episode.
Yeah.
You know, when the Venator's going down and they help her out. Yep. So that would be quite a cool one to have. Especially because we've got Jesse.
I was just going to say they'd go very well with your Rex and your Jesse.
And the
Freebird second, to be fair.
Well, you can have a really good little like scene, but
Clone Wars finale on display.
I'm probably not going to get that one, but I do think it's still a cool.
Yeah, it's a good one for collectors.
Any other figures, Funkos? I don't think so.
No.
But the big news. The big news.
Which a lot of you guys will be very excited for. And you probably already know because it's been everywhere. But
I'm also very excited myself about this.
Yep.
When I saw the news, I had to double check. Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection is coming out next month.
Yep.
Oh my god, I've been waiting for this. So,
if you guys don't know, back in like, when was it? 2004,
2005?
So there was these games called Battlefront on like PS2.
Yeah, it was PS2.
And Xbox and that. So we had Battlefront, and then they came out with Battlefront 2.
And Battlefront 2, like, nothing against Battlefront, but Battlefront 2 was the best. Like, it's the best ever Star Wars game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's the GOAT of all Star Wars games. Like, this is my childhood.
Yeah.
So they brought it out, and then obviously they brought out in like 2017 and whatever. They brought out the new Battlefront and Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
Both ended up being really good games, and I had a lot of fun playing them, especially Battlefront. I think I ended up like at some point in the top 2,000 players in the UK. Like, I sweated that game. I was the vet. I'd come home, play it, and I was getting like every game I was getting scores like 50 kills, like less than 10 deaths, you know. So that's how much I sweated that game.
Yeah.
But these games here, especially number 2, is my childhood.
The
And
original.
they have confirmed that it's coming out on PS4, PS5, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Um,
and it is cross-platform as well. So if you are playing on like Switch, and someone else is playing on PlayStation, you can both play at the same time.
Yeah. So also what that means, because it's cross-platform, it means there is online play. Now, they have said that the online play will be 64 player matches. 64 of us running around shooting at each other as clones or separatists, as Jedi, as, you know, I can't wait. This is going to literally be like the game everyone is playing.
Oh,
you know?
100%.
Comes out March 14th, I believe, is the day. Apparently as well, now I don't know which ones they have said, but they have said that there will be new maps. So like, I think it's like, what I reckon they're going to do is they're going to add in the DLC like maps that you could have got.
You could have unlocked.
Yeah, but I think it was only on Xbox or something, which had like, I think the Jedis were like
Shaq-T and stuff.
Sarge Ventress, and I think Kit Fisto or something. Because in the trailer, there is a bit where there's like all the heroes, and you can see Kit Fisto in it. And I don't remember him in the game, but I'm very excited for it. New maps, and even the first Battlefront, you know, is going to be fun to play with and bring back memories. And it's split screen, like local play. You know, this is like what we've wanted. You know.
I mean, if you guys have never played the original like Battlefront 2 and stuff, you could literally be one of the 501st, and you're like doing all the missions.
The
so
501st
you
Journal.
Go to Mygeeto, Felucia, the Jedi Temple. Like you get to kill the Jedi, and then you can even be like Obi-Wan fighting General Grievous and Utapau. Like it's really cool, guys.
I think it's called Journal of the 501st, I believe.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to be playing this on, like, you know, this is, I've been wanting a game to play for a little while now, you know, like, there hasn't been anything really exciting.
No, not since,
I can't wait
like,
for
Jedi
this.
Survivor.
Yeah, I can't wait for this. This is brilliant.
Yeah.
So, yeah, make sure you get it, because we'll see you on the battlefield.
So we're not getting a Battlefront 3, we're getting the original Battlefront 1 and 2, like, redone on PS5. PS4.
And yeah, also, if you still are a little bit unsure, go check out the trailer for it. And you'll be like, this is my childhood. You know, just the flight, the like space missions, the you know, the battle on Hoth and stuff. It's just like, how
and even like the graphics and stuff, like they've not kind of remastered it, so it has that, you know, kind of PS2 look to it.
Yeah.
So it's really nostalgic, because it's like.
But they've just updated it, so obviously we can play it.
Yeah.
And it look, you know, like we're playing the old game. And I think this is actually marketing genius by these guys, because it's like they all know this is what we want to play.
Yeah.
So why not bring it back out so we can play it?
Yeah.
Yes. Can't wait.
Very cool.
So I believe we now head on to the bad batch. But I do have to also include this.
Yeah.
They released this I think it was today. I found it. They've released the poster for it. I really like this poster for season 3 of the Bad Batch. Just quickly talk you through it. Obviously, in the middle, you got Palpatine with his the Emperor, with like he's got like a red sort of glow. Yeah,
you can just see his little eyes glowing underneath his hood.
We've got Hemlock, Nala Se, Emery at the bottom, with
Scorch.
Yeah, I don't know. That one isn't Scorch.
Is it not Scorch?
That one is just
a regular.
Just a commando. But yeah, you can see in the other background. Then we got the Marauder. Then we've got, I think that's a Echo ship that we see when he rescues Hauser.
Yeah. Right.
And then obviously above them we've got Omega, Echo, Crosshair, Wrecker, Hunter. We've also got the Venators and the V-Wings. Love it. Now, I'm going to put it out there. So this planet behind Echo, I reckon, is Tantive, where most of the series is going to be focused on. But this red planet, Tantive, but this red planet, I think is really important. I reckon that's Dathomir.
Ooh. It might be, you know.
It might be.
Because Ventress, who we saw in the trailer.
True. Now, she's not on this poster, but
no,
I think it would sort of make sense, red planet, Ventress. Possibly. So, yeah, I thought that was quite cool.
Yeah.
Now, before we get into the actual episodes, me and you did a bingo card each. Now, we're not going to talk about what's scratched off yet. We'll get to that.
Okay.
But I'm going to talk about our predictions for what we put on it, because I think it's quite interesting.
Yeah.
Let me get it up. Now, I was looking at this, and there was a lot that I was thinking I could put on mine. Like, I didn't want to put things that were almost guaranteed, And by the way, the stuff that we've put, we haven't gone by things that we've seen in the trailers.
No.
Because that would have been too easy.
Yeah.
So, what we've gone for is stuff a little bit out there. But there is so many that we could have gone for in the end of, possibles.
Yeah.
So.
But we narrowed it down to 6 each.
Should we talk about some of the ones that we didn't add that we thought could have happened?
Yeah.
So I had a little list of ones that I had to choose from, and I was thinking Vader appearance. That would be quite an interesting one, considering we've only seen him once in Clone Wars animation.
Yeah.
That would have been quite cool to see. That still could happen.
Yeah.
There was also.
I was thinking maybe we'll see a Star Destroyer for the first time in Clone Wars animation.
Yeah.
Because so far we've only seen the Venators, but the Imperial version.
Yeah. Even looking at the poster, there's 3 Venators.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking maybe we'll start to get into more towards episode 4. With the Star Destroyers.
Also, as well, I was saying possibly having Sid turn up.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I know, we're not fans of Sid, but I was thinking maybe she would turn up and help as a bit of a redemption. But yeah, there was just so many that we could have gone through and be this is going to happen. And again, like we said, we didn't want to make it obvious. We didn't want it to be Wrecker says because stuff like that, or Palpatine turns up because we knew from the trailer.
Yeah, we didn't want to say I don't know, Ventress having 2 lightsabers. We've already seen that. So,
yeah. So Chloe's, we'll go with your one first.
Okay.
And again, we're not going to tell you who or what has been scratched off.
No.
Yeah, but we will when we get to it. So Chloe's is Tech is still alive.
Okay, I'm holding out hope that Tech is still alive. You disagree on this one.
I'm sorry.
You think he's not?
He's
coming
gone.
back.
He's gone. I'm sorry. Tech's gone. We're coming to the end of the Bad Batch. This is the final season.
I know.
I know it sounds really bad, and I don't want them to. But realistically, if they're not doing another series, spin-off series after this, they have to find a way to sort of end the the era of the clones and how many there still is, and
Sad.
I just don't think he's
You
turning
don't
back.
think he'll come back. I must say, I seen a funny meme the other day, and I actually
Okay.
sent it to you. It was about Tech coming back. So I'm just trying to see if I can find it.
But yeah, I was at the panel when they brought up Tech.
I found it.
I'm telling you, Michelle, and Dee were just really sad. Like,
I mean, everyone is saying Tech's dead, but no one wants to believe it. But I found this meme the other day that says, George Lucas himself could come to my house and tell me Tech is dead, and I wouldn't believe him. Which is true.
What if Dave Filoni?
I still won't believe it. I'll be like, what do you mean? Because my argument, guys, right? If anyone is like considered dead in Star Wars, my argument is always Darth Maul got chopped in half and he still came back alive. So there's possibility for everyone to come back. Is my opinion. So he might make a comeback, and also we've seen in episode 1 Tech's glasses on the Marauder, and Hunter's sat there like, oh, and Wrecker's really sad that he's gone, and just everyone just wants him back. Like
he's not coming back.
I want him to come back.
He's not coming back.
So I put it on my bingo card. If he comes back,
I owe you a cookie.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't, you owe me one of those big cookies. I can't wait because it's going to taste amazing. You've gone for Cody appearance.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because
we had something very similar on my one, but a little bit different.
I really want to see Cody again, because the last time we saw him, he didn't agree with anything the Empire did, and he'd gone AWOL, according to
He'd gone rogue.
Yeah, what was that guy's name? I can't remember.
Oh, Rampart.
That's the one.
Admiral
the
Rampart.
One that destroyed Community. But yeah, so I just wanted to see him again because he had like this cool little arc with Crosshair, and yeah, so that was what I put on.
TK changed to Stormtrooper armor.
Yeah.
Another interesting one. We've had the TK Trooper armor for a little bit.
Yeah.
They're going to have to go to Stormtrooper at some point.
Yeah.
So,
and I think it would be cool to see the Stormtrooper armor in the Clone Wars, like Bad Batch animation style, because we've not actually seen that yet, like official Stormtrooper.
Nala Say helps Omega escape. Interesting one.
Yep.
Interesting.
Because Nala Say and Omega, we know that they're really close, so that was on my bingo list.
Marauder gets destroyed. Another good one.
Yeah. I think it may be a similar situation to... Well, I was thinking it would be a similar situation to the Razor Crest and Mandalorian. Like, we had it for a little while, and then all of a sudden, it's like, right, the Empire destroyed that, and then he had to get a new ship, and I thought it may be like a similar situation, because, we've had 2 whole seasons with the Marauder, and it's a really cool looking ship, and I hope nothing happens to it. However, Dave Filoni's gonna hurt us somehow, and I thought maybe the Marauder... I'd rather have the Marauder destroyed than any of the Batch. However, I do appreciate the Marauder because they've made like Omega's little bedroom and stuff, and it's really cute.
And I think it's a really nice looking ship as well. It's a really cool ship.
So hopefully...
One of my favourites that's becoming.
However, it has been fixed multiple times now.
But no, and you got one other one, Ahsoka appearance.
Yeah, so I've put this on here. It's a bit of a random one. However, it's a Dave Filoni series, and this is the only Dave Filoni series we haven't seen Ahsoka. And also, I'm thinking, like, looking forward to, like, Rebels and stuff in the timeline. She is Fulcrum, and in the Bad Batch, Captain Rex is Fulcrum. And she clearly would have some communication with him. So I'm thinking maybe we'll see something of Ahsoka.
Interesting one.
Maybe not, but I thought just throw it out there, put it on a bingo card.
Just one thing before we get into mine. Something I've just noticed on the poster.
Yeah.
Omega's got a new like crossbow looking
That's cool.
blaster. You know how she had like the bow and arrow?
Yeah.
It looks like she's gone to like a plasma like crossbow one where she can just be like,
Yeah.
That's really cool.
That's
Actually,
better.
that's really cool. I like
But
that.
also Omega is getting older as we speak, so
But I like it.
she
Cool.
can use a more blaster type
Yeah.
weapon.
So my bingo card.
Yeah.
Very similar, but
Mhm.
also I've tried going ones that maybe will happen, but are a little bit more out there to make it a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
So I've gone for Rex and Cody reunite.
Mhm.
So
Which
whereas-
we all want to see.
so whereas you've had Cody just appearing,
Mhm.
I've had it Cody and Rex together, and I really hope that's the case. Dr. Hemlock allows Crosshair to escape. Now, if you look at when Crosshair sort of contacted the Bad Batch in season 2 and said that after Omega, Hemlock made it very clear to him that there was no way of escape, and if he was to escape, it was by his design, So it's like that gets me thinking as well. Like,
No one can escape.
plus, he's been doing some work on. He's been experimenting on Crosshair, as we see in the episode. I just think it's like he let him go, and he's going to control him somehow or something. But yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
Sev Fixer or Boss appearance. Now, those are the Republic Commandos. In the trailer, there is a lot of Republic Commandos, and obviously Scorch has now become the head Imperial Commando. Like, it's incredible, like how high up he is, So the chances of seeing those ones are still there. I'd love to see those three turn up.
Yeah.
Or even just one of them,
Right. If one of them turns up, you have permission to take it off. Because it's either...
Well, it says Sev Fixer or Boss appearance. So, yeah, if one of them turns up, happy days.
There you go.
Order 66 being mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
With all the stories of the clones, this whole season's going to be about sort of fading out the clones. So I feel like there's going to be a bit where it's like, we're sorry, or, we're like, Order 66 shouldn't have happened when, Rex and Cody stuff like that. But yeah. So,
and you also had the idea that Fives might be mentioned to Echo.
Did, and I was like, do I? I mean, I've also got quite a big theory that I've been sort of keeping to myself lately, but I don't think it's going to happen. But it is quite out there. But if it is, it's a bit of a shock.
Okay.
I'll tell you it later. Quinlan Voss appearance. Now,
because of Ventress.
Yeah, it's because of Ventress, and because it's been said that it's like in conjunction with the Dark Disciple, the book. That her and Quinlan are in.
Yeah. But
Plus,
also he was mentioned in Kenobi.
Yes, he is around.
Yeah.
I'm thinking he's gonna appear, so that would be a nice one to tick off.
Mm-hmm.
And then my last one. Okay, you were like, this one's a little bit too obvious, I think. I was like, you never know. One of the Bad Batch dies.
Other than Tag.
So basically,
so this is Crosshair as well.
So if Wrecker, Hunter, Echo, Omega, or Crosshair don't make it through the end of the series, ticks off my bingo list. Get it ticked. So yeah,
For Amy's sake, I hope Echo doesn't.
Yes. That would be very sad.
Yep.
But yeah, that's our bingo list. Let us know as well, because we put it on our Instagram, so go check them out. Let us know which one you think's got more chance of, ticking ones off.
Yep.
Okay, so we get on with the episode.
Yep.
I know you've been waiting for this, guys. So sorry about that. So, episode 1, what did you think?
I think it was a good start to season 3. Like, and I'm really glad that they released all 3 starting episodes, so we could really get into the series. I've heard a lot of people say about episode 1 that it's quite Andor-esque, but I don't think it is to me. But I think there was a lot of little, should we say, Easter eggs in this episode. So we can obviously see Omega here. She's writing on the wall the amount of days she's been there, which is when the Bad Batch had their room on Camino, that he used to do that Wrecker used to get his knife out, and he used to do that
for every mission.
So it's kind of like that for her.
What I like though at the start, when we see her and she does it, at the start of the episode, we see that she's been there 21 days because it's marked off on the wall. So it's only 21 days since the end of season 2 at the start, and we see that she's got this routine of she goes with Emery, helps with blood samples, gets some blood taken, goes to Nala Se, and then checks out the hounds, the lug. I can't remember lug hounds. Does that, and then basically goes back to her cell. And that's her first her daily routine.
Yeah.
We see that she's done 21 days, and then the next time that we see her, which I think was very cleverly done, when it's we think, oh, okay, it's the next day, we see that her wall is now filled with these. So it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35.
I think it was 5
16.
5 months or 5 weeks.
So I'm just counting in my head.
I think it's 5 months.
100. Yeah, a lot.
A lot of days. But
it's about 5 months, I think.
Yeah, we also see a slight change to her hair as well, and
it's a bit longer.
Yeah. So, I mean, my first thought was she's starting to look very similar to Emery because of the longer hair and the hairstyle that she's got in. But she also has this little makeshift Lula.
That she was getting from the pens with the Luger hound.
Yeah, so she befriends a Luger hound, and she calls it
Batcher.
Calls it Batcher for the Bad Batch because it's Defective.
But to the Imperials, Batcher is LH281.
No.
Luger Hound 281.
So it's very similar to the cones where they all have this code rather than
CT.
name. They're just a number to them.
But we also see as well in the first bit of her day, we see that she goes past Crosshair's looking a weak and broken man, and we also see as well that she has her blood taken by Emery, saying it's just protocol.
Yep.
But then,
and then she takes it to Nala Se every day. And Nala Se goes, "They've taken your blood the first day," and she's like, yeah, she said it was just protocol. So then Nala Se's no, she can't have your blood, and then deletes it off the system and incinerates it.
Yeah,
so every day her blood's being incinerated, but she's still getting Amory to take it because, you know, it's protocol and she doesn't want Amory, like, she doesn't want to get in trouble. I think the one thing I will say is, if that was me, I would be completely terrified to get my blood taken. If I was that young and getting it taken every single day for like 5 months, like, I don't know. I think she was very brave. And then, so yeah, Nalase is basically making this process a lot longer because she knows, because she made Omega, like, she knows what's in her and that it will be a match to Palpatine's blood. So basically there's like this thing with Palpatine's blood drops in all of the like prisoners' blood to see if they're a compatible donor.
An M count match.
Yeah,
and we'll get to the Omega one in a bit, like for episode 3.
Yeah.
But basically, it's a good way to show the episode that Omega, because obviously they do the same like thing like 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
We see that it's a routine, become a routine life for Omega. Do the bloods, take it to Nalase, go feed the Luger hounds, you know, and then go visit Crosshair when she's not meant to.
Yeah.
And then go back to herself.
And he's just kind of like, don't worry about me, like, just do what you need to do, kind of thing.
Get out of, you know, focus on getting out yourself, like.
But obviously, Omega being Omega, like, she's a real caring person, and she sees Crosshair as her brother, you know, like, they were both friends, they were all part of this really cool team, and all of a sudden, like, the Empire just, you know, it's a way of showing how horrible the Empire is being, like, splitting every family up, basically.
Yep.
So this is Crosshair's very sad face.
Yep. You can see that he's also very weak as well, and you can also see in the episode that he has a bit of a tremor in his hand, which I think is from like the experiments from Hemlock.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just very sad to see Crosshair like so defeated, you know. But
because, you know, like, sharpshooting is his like main skill, you know, like that was his enhancement for, but you know.
But yeah, so first episode, not really any action, but it gets the story going for what we see on Tantive, which is Omega sort of stuck there for about 5 months, you know, trying to adapt to life while still trying to escape, you know. Like, she hasn't fully just been like given up, but you know, there's also, you can clearly tell that there's also tension there between her and Emery, and you know, like, but that was really it that happened in the first episode, you know. And also, you know, as well, we see that she lets Batcher go. Batcher gets hurt because basically the base, like the jungle surrounding the base, are not a good place to be. There's so many creatures and that out there, and the Luger hounds like protect the base, and Batcher comes back and is like cut, but Omega, being her friendly self, steps in, saves the day.
Because there's a droid there that doesn't want to help out. He's just, you know, as far as he's concerned, like that.
Yeah, it's going to be terminated.
Going to be terminated, and Omega sees like a first aid kit basically on the wall, and then gets like the whatever I don't know what it is. It's like a liquid thing on a stick, and wipes it on the cut, and then ends up healing the Luger hound.
Yeah.
So she's.
But then it still was up for termination. So, but she lets it go. And Hemlock basically tries to make her feel bad for it, saying, "You've just," because she's like, "Oh, you're going to terminate it."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Well, you've just terminated it basically because
Yeah.
there's so many creatures out there and you've basically domesticated it,
Yeah.
which ends up in a little bit
Mhm.
not being the case. But yeah, interesting. And again, nothing crazy exciting for episode 1, but it done enough that it was like it told the story. We get an idea of where Crosshair and Omega are in this situation.
Yeah.
And again, one thing that I said to you when we were watching it, I was like, I cannot believe like how important Scorch has become as a clone officer, like commando. Like he's there in pretty much every scene.
Yeah.
By Hemlock's side or with Emery, like in the same bit.
Mhm.
He's always there. It's mad, isn't it? It's
It is
crazy.
crazy.
But I'm sort of tempted to get the Black Series Scorch figure because he is such an iconic clone commando,
Yeah.
So yeah. Going on to episode 2. Now this was actually quite a good episode
Mhm.
and quite an interesting one as well for actors that you didn't realise were in Star Wars and some reoccurring faces.
Yeah.
So episode 2, we go completely away from Tantive with Omega. We go to like the home of the Duras families, which I thought was really interesting because I was like, I would not have expected them to go that way.
No.
But we're in the house of Duras in this really nice building. We see that captain of the Duras family
Yep.
has been accused of basically being a traitor. Doesn't go well for him.
No.
Says that the Duras family is now weak,
Yeah.
and he stood on like a hollow beam that Lady Duras here.
She pushes a button and then
It goes
falls
yeah.
down.
Now,
Very similar to like Jabba and his pit with the Rancor.
yeah. Now
Similar.
this was really interesting. I wouldn't have guessed this in a million years. So this woman here that we're showing now, who is like the head of the Duras family, is Lady Issa Duran. Was it? Oh, the Duran family, not Duran. Duras. The Duran family. Sorry. She is voiced by Angela Houston. Now,
if you guys don't know, she's the one that plays what's it called? Morticia Adams.
Tish.
Yeah. She was in The Witches, many other.
Yeah, if you saw her, you would like know who she is, especially as Morticia Adams. I think that's like the most iconic one. But again, like such a well-known name.
Yeah.
Playing a small part in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
And I can't remember her son's name, but the guy who we see in Rebels and lost his horn.
Yeah.
So basically, they're at it's almost like their court session.
Yeah.
And then we see a pike get brought in before them
by Hunter and Wrecker.
Now, I pointed that out to you. Wrecker's armor in this series so far is really cool. For different reasons. It's the same armor, but the shoulder pads especially, like the shoulder protectors, are very rusted. They have a very rusted look. And a little bit on the helmet and, the chest plate. But when you look at the mask and the chest, there's scratches on it and across the thing.
Yeah. And it's got bits of rust and it looks old and
it looks
weathered.
Weathered. But the last time we see his helmet, he didn't have the marks on his armor. So it's what has he been up to in the 5 months, to have this? And
there's also a few changes in Hunter's armor. So obviously he's still got the same helmet, but it's a bit more scratched up.
Bit blue as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say like his chest and his helmet, where like it's sort of wore down, it looks kind of blue. And then he's got a different shoulder piece. It's sort of like a brown, like circular kind of piece, whereas this one is his season 2, like blue and white.
Well, his normal Bad Batch, like.
Yeah. And then his arms, they have almost like bandages on them, kind of like Mayday as well. So I thought that's quite cool. Like, I wonder what they've been doing. Well, clearly they've been up to some stuff to try and get some intel on where Omega is.
Yeah, and we see that they, the Duran family, have intel on like an Imperial base where Hemlock was. So that's where they head off. Now, like I said to you when we were watching it, what they're doing this season, instead of like a load of filler episodes where they go off and have like, it's like almost like a venture of the day. They go off, save a couple of people, do this, and then they continue with the story.
Yeah.
The story is all about finding Omega, finding Hemlock. It's all connected. So even though that they're going off to this planet, an Imperial base, on a one-off episode, they're going to try and find Omega and Hemlock.
Yeah.
So we get there, and it's a very jungle planet. But before that, we see quite a sad image of Hunter looking at like a data pad, and then he quickly glances at Tech's broken glasses.
Yeah. And then there's like Omega's bedroom,
and
little
Lula.
With like her little ear down as well, so it's kind of like looks sad, and you're like,
Yeah. And then really interesting, there's quite a big character development from Wrecker. He has, I'm not saying evolved, but matured. Because Hunter's like, right, well, we're going into this base. And Wrecker's like, mate, last time that we went to a place without backup, not all of us came out,
Yeah.
So
I think this Tech death has really affected him.
Even like later in the episode, he still has his sort of humor-ish side to him, but he's still, I think, more.
Yeah.
He's maturing in terms of knowing what to do. And when he gets off the ship, he says it smells like ranch. It smells like ranch. Was it wretched or Yohaz? What was the word? Not ranched. Rancid. Smells like rancid Yotaz.
Yeah.
Now, what I've got up on the screen here is an image of a Yotaz
from Fallen Order.
Yeah. So you find it on Zepho, I believe. If you look, it's very much like, it looks a bit like a sort of rancor, like sort of creature.
Yeah. But a bit smaller.
Yeah. But still annoying little boss to fight and a horrible creature.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to come across it.
No.
But yeah, I thought that was a cool little nod to like Fallen Order, to be like, mention that. And then they're going through the jungle where they come across 2 rigs. Now, you made a very funny comment.
I did.
So these 2 are called Deep Stack.
Yeah.
And they've got a very like New Zealand accent, like
very broad, like New Zealand.
Yeah. Like very different, but quite. And you made a comment.
I did.
So God, so.
So I said, it sounds like the bad kid from the Christmas Chronicles 2. I know this has nothing to do with Star Wars, but there's a film on Netflix called The Christmas Chronicles 2. And we watched it in December. And there's like this really broad, like New Zealand kid in it, and he's like the bad guy. And I was like, it sounds like him. Like, I wonder if it is him.
And to people who don't know the Christmas Chronicle, if you've seen Deadpool 2,
Yeah.
he's the like New Zealand kid in that.
And apparently he's in Godzilla King of Monsters as well.
Yeah. So you were like, that sounds like him. I was like,
Yeah.
no, I'm not sure on that one.
You were like, it must be like Daniel Logan or something.
No.
I was like, oh, I don't know. It doesn't really sound like Little Boba. And it's definitely not D. Bradley Baker.
Oh,
because he has like a distinct accent, you know.
So we find out after the episode that they were actually voiced by that guy from the Christmas Chronicles too, and Deadpool and all that.
I have a good ear, apparently.
So they were voiced by Julian Dennison.
Mm-hmm. What's his name? And then...
But yeah, no, that was really interesting because I was saying to you, this was the funny thing, because I was saying to you, it's like, no, I reckon it's Daniel Logan.
Yeah.
And to all of you who don't know who that is, shame on you first.
Yes.
And secondly, that's the guy who plays Little Boba in Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
You know, Dad,
Tom
Weezer, you know, him.
Yeah.
But then when these two little regs lead Hunter and Wrecker to their little base, and they meet their other guy, Mox, who has survived, you know, with them.
Yeah, and he's got like a little bit longer hair, and
he looks a little bit older, like.
So Nox is voiced by Daniel.
So Mox is voiced by Daniel Logan.
Yeah.
So I was sort of right.
Yeah.
I mean, technically I was right. I was like, you know, they sound like sounds like Daniel Logan.
Yeah.
Just quickly, you can see in this picture here, if you're watching it, you can see that Hunter is like a bit more blue.
Yeah. On like his chest.
Got the sort of patches and that, and then you can see as well, Wrecker's got like scratches, rusting looking armor.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But what I think was really interesting about this episode, especially like seeing their reaction with the like young clones, is like you forget that they're sort of completely in a world like on their own now. You know, they don't have a purpose. They were going to be soldiers, and you know.
Yeah.
So then they find the base, and they find that it's orbital bombarded.
Oh yeah.
By like the Venators, like
Kamina.
And we find that the whole base is covered in vines,
and
that they're alive as well.
The vines were like an experiment that the Empire did.
Yeah, and these clone cadets, so we say like the kids, were on the planet, and they were able to escape before it was completely destroyed.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they find out that one of the panels still works in the base, but they need a power source.
Mm-hmm.
So they grab Gonk,
put
him on his back.
Gonky.
They strap him up, put him on his back.
On Wrecker's
back, yeah.
Because Wrecker's the big one that can carry him.
And one of the clones, I can't remember which one it is. I think it's Deke. I think he decides to go with the clones.
Yeah.
Because he's like, they're looking for one of their own squad. Yeah. That's like a loyalty that the other clones don't ever have.
No.
So he goes with them, and obviously we find they have a bit of a battle and a skirmish with
the vines.
The vines and
then there's these little things that
very alien-like.
Yeah, I was saying they look kind of like the it's called Thing in Addams Family. Again, an Addams Family reference. Because they look like a little hand crawling along, but they
also look like the head from the Thing. You know, if you've ever seen the Thing.
And they also look like the things from Alien.
Face crawlers.
Yeah.
Face huggers. It's very creepy, isn't it?
Which is also the name of this planet. It begins with W. I can't remember. Wayland is like a facility in the Alien.
Well, yeah, it's the Wayland Corporation.
Yeah.
You know,
so maybe this episode is not to Alien.
I think it is, especially with the look of the monsters and all that.
Because they do look like the things from Alien.
Yeah, and then obviously the Mox and Stax, I think it is those two.
Mm-hmm.
They're like look, let's get out of this planet while we can.
Yeah.
So they go and sort of hijack the Marauder,
Hmm.
but then they actually come and save Hunter, Wrecker, and and they end up using a load of explosive
Yeah.
to blow up the creature with like the massive mouth. It looks very much like a Sarlacc, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Um,
But also it's quite similar to the scene where Boba put the seismic charge inside the Sarlacc's mouth,
to completely
and then it went boom,
yeah.
and like
destroyed it.
very
From the
similar
inside.
to that with all the explosives they had on the Marauder. However, I think when I was like watching the scene, obviously this thing with like his vines was on the Marauder, and I was thinking, oh no, is this the Marauder gonna get destroyed? Am I gonna take one off my finger?
Am I gonna lose my bingo?
No. I hope not.
But yeah, so then they managed to escape. And
I'm
then,
surprised like how good they were at flying the Marauder.
well, one of them, I can't remember who it is. I think it's Deke, says that he was like number one in flight thing in his class on Camino. You know, so he must be pretty decent.
Yeah, they must have trained him out.
Yeah, and they obviously they escaped the planet with a little bit of information.
Mm-hmm.
So they find out that he moved all his operations to somewhere else, and they get a sector. Now, obviously, a sector is still very big. It's like 10 to 12 planets in a sector.
Yeah.
But they've narrowed it down to 10 to 12 planets instead of the whole galaxy, you know. So that's a big start anyway. Mm-hmm. And Hunter basically says, look, you know, you have the chance now to be whoever you want to be, you know, a clone. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be a soldier, you know, you can make your own move.
Yeah.
And basically he doesn't say it, but he says that he's going to drop him off somewhere safe. Mm-hmm. And we say it's going to be Pabu.
Yeah.
So, yeah, which is quite, again, I think it was a really good episode, quite action, and I liked, you know, when you look back at seeing the younger clones, because we haven't, you know, you completely forget about them.
Yeah.
And I just think as well, using like Daniel Logan as a voice, as well as, you know, Julian, I thought it was a really good leading up to D. Bradley and 10, you know, because that's what eventually they do.
Yeah. And I think it's cool to see, you know, where Hunter and Wrecker are at in the story, like how far they've got along with finding Omega, how they're feeling about tech and all this.
Yeah, and it's also made very clear that, you know, they're not giving up on Omega, like they're still looking for her, and they have been this whole 5 months, and they won't stop.
Yep.
You know, so yeah. Then obviously there we have a better picture of I think again it's Deke with the mask, and obviously we see Gonki.
Yeah, Gonki's feet above Wrecker's head.
Yeah, Gonki.
These are like the same masks that we seen Omega use in that arc in season 1 with Hunter. It's very similar to like Last of Us kind of thing, where there's like the spores and stuff. So obviously Hunter and Wrecker, they've got their helmets on, but he doesn't have anything, so he's got to have this.
I really like the design of the character as well, by the way, just putting it out there. Like the hair looks quite good, even though, you know, they're all quite dirty and their suits are a bit wrecked. You know, it's like that's what you would expect for someone who's like living it out on a planet, you know, trying their best to survive.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very cool. So then we get episode 3. Now, again, here's Hemlock and Scorch, my boy. But so this episode again starts very similar to episode 1, where you know, Emery comes to get Omega from a cell.
Yep.
But Omega's a bit more willing, like she just sort of just gets, turns up, like she's waiting for her like at the door. She's not like, I don't want to come with you sort of thing. It's like, right, okay, come on.
Yep.
Goes off, same thing with the Bloods.
Yep.
But Omega notices that there is a lot more of an presence. Like there's a lot more guards around, a lot more activity.
Yep.
And then as she's getting her blood taken, Hemlock and Nala Say enter the lab.
Yep.
And Nala Say is a bit like, oh bugger, because she sees that Omega's thing.
Yep.
And that there's a special guest coming to visit the facility. So Nala Say is going to be busy. So Hemlock says Emery is going to be handling the lab duties of like
putting the blood. Thing. Yeah.
And sorting it out.
Yeah.
But then
Nala Say's kind of like, no, there's no need to do that. Like, I can do it when I come back. And they're like, nope.
no,
Not
it's
slowing
fine.
down any of this any further. So
Yeah. And then Nala Say goes over to Omega and is like, look, you got to get out of here before they find out about you. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go use my data pad, take a shuttle, get out of here. So Nala Say helps Omega escape. Ticket off your list, madam. Yep. Well done. So 3 episodes in, and we have a bingo strike. Very good.
Bingo.
So yeah. So while when they go to the lab, Omega goes with Emery and sees her put the blood like in the machine to be like tested. Emery, who is a bit of a weird one because she sort of feels a bit for Omega. Like in episode 1, she had Omega made a straw Lula.
Yeah.
But it was like they had an inspection check and she was like, I'll give it here, I'm going to destroy it. Because you're not allowed like personal affections. But then she returned it later in the episode to her. So it's a bit like she's looking after her.
Yeah.
So Emery can see that Omega is a little bit distracted, so she's like, look, go rest, I'll come and check on you later, sort of thing. So in the time she nicks the data pad, goes and gets Crosshair.
She does.
And a really cool bit where like she's like, distract the guards.
Yeah.
And he's like, guards.
It's like
open the cell, give me your blaster, and then she opens the door and
it's like, that is an order. And they're like, this clone think he outranks us and all that. And then all of a sudden she opens the door, boom boom boom.
Yeah. Very cool.
In good Crosshair style.
And then while this is going on, we realise who the special guest is. Palpatine himself. Now in the video it was they made a very good point that Palpatine didn't turn up in like a massive fleet, and he didn't do the same in Return of the Jedi because his visit is very secret.
Yeah.
He's turned up on a shuttle, like just a normal shuttle, really, isn't it? Yes, he's got his paladin, his guards with him, but it's like, and Ian McDermott voice is back, and it is, it's just such an iconic voice. I love hearing him doing it. And he comes to check out the facility, and his main priority is to check out Project Necromancer. Which is mentioned in Mando, which is being overseen by Admiral Thingy Hux. I believe it's Hux's dad.
Yeah.
From obviously Hux from The Force Awakens and the sequels, and this was his dad was overseeing it. And basically, Project Necromancer is Palpatine returning,
Yeah.
like cloning himself to come back.
Yeah.
So he started it all the way back here, like, and here in this photo you can see that like Scorch is right there. He stays with the Emperor and
Yeah.
Hemlock at all times. Like,
Mm.
how trusted like is this guy? Like,
Yep.
but I love this photo anyway. Like all the commandos and like, yeah.
It's kind of like Palpatine has like these three things, so he had to be the top of like the Republic, then
Get rid of all the Jedi,
get rid of the Jedi,
and then become
make
a
his
Maul.
empire, and now he wants to basically become like eternal.
Yeah. But yeah, which I thought was really nice, and we get to see like the amount of security going in, and then we see this like vault room which is like black with like red markings and lights on the floor, and
Very sick.
he's obviously got some like bodies like in these tubes that we don't see.
Nope.
But we assume that they're like probably just versions of him, I reckon, or like Palpatine. So quite interesting.
Yeah.
And like Crosshair and Omega use the they realize that the only shuttle that they can use to get out is the Emperor, so they're like, yeah, that's not a good idea, because Omega's like, well, we're gonna have to steal the Emperor's shuttle, and it's like, yeah, not gonna happen.
No.
So, but in the first episode at the start, a shuttle crashes outside of the facility.
Yeah.
So Omega knows of this.
Yeah.
And
I think it's something that Hemlock tells her as
Yes.
well, which is like interesting because he's kind of given her like the gold key to be like,
yeah,
there's a shuttle outside.
but it is crashed, so it's like,
Yeah.
it's not usable.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they go to the Luger Hounds like thing, and they go to escape via Batcher's like cell, shall we say, like his way out.
Yep.
And Emery turns up.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like she did in the second season. She's like, "Don't do it. Stop it. You're just making it harder. Stop it." And then
she's like, "No one has to know about this. Just go back to your room."
Yep. And then Crosshair stuns her again.
Mm-hmm.
Twice she's been stunned by Crosshair now.
Yep.
But she'd activated the beacon.
Yep.
To be like they're escaping. So they make their way out, just barely escaping the the like ray shield doors and that.
Very similar to like episode 1 with the ray shields.
And then the what do you call it? The so we say recovery team gets sent out.
Yeah. The TKs.
Yeah, the TKs and a commando to like recover them.
Yeah.
They make it to the shuttle, and it's obviously not working, and the comms are not working.
Yeah.
But they use it for plan. Do you remember which plan?
79. Was it?
72. I thought.
Oh.
I think it's 72.
It's 70 something.
Yeah.
But Crosshair says to her, like,
did they teach you
72?
Yeah.
And she said, Tech made me memorize every single plan.
And he was like, of course he did.
Yeah.
Like,
which is so cool.
Which is a really nice little thing. Like,
we need Tech back.
He's not coming back. It's not going on your bingo card, all right?
Okay.
Sorry. And I'm going to look forward to that cookie. Just saying. So basically, Plan 72 is they hijack the rescuers, like the recovery unit ship. Mm-hmm. So they do like a little stealth plan, and they all drop down to get them while they're distracted with Crosshair's fire. Omega like goes to slip up on the ship. Mm-hmm. And just as this TK trooper's like, stop, Batcher comes out of nowhere and saves her, which is really cool. So she takes over the ship, and then she like fires upon the TK troopers.
Yep.
Her and Crosshair sort of get in the ship with Batcher, fly off, being chased by V-Wings.
Yep.
But then, during this time as well, the blood thing goes to Omega's blood, and it's flashing like yellow. Turns out Omega's blood is the perfect donor, or the perfect sample for the M count that is needed to clone Palpatine. So basically, Palpatine wants to clone himself, but all the bodies that have been sort of used as a clone as of himself, the M count has degraded.
Yep.
So meaning if he's got like, say for example, 10,000 midichlorian count, the like as it's going on, it's degrading. So he would lose the ability to like use the Force and all that. So he needs a stable one without degradation.
Yeah.
And Omega's blood happens to be the right one. Typical.
Yep.
So Emery finds this out and runs to Hemlock and is like, "Don't shoot them down.
Yeah.
We need them alive. Like her blood is the one that you needed." Like, so then straight away Hemlock's like, "Right, call it off.
Yep.
Call off the assault."
Yep. And Scorch is like, "What?"
So they call off the pursuit and they jump into hyperspace.
They do.
Which is like, wow, I didn't expect both of them to make it. Now, I need your guys' opinion on this. Hemlock is like, let them escape. Because it's like, we need them alive. So we need the thing. Does that count as letting Crosshair escape? I mean, technically it does.
I think it does.
Shall I cross it off?
Yeah.
I mean, because, technically,
yeah,
he does let them escape.
Like, he didn't personally let Crosshair escape, he just wanted to save Omega, but in the process, he's let Crosshair escape.
I'm counting that.
One.
We're both on one. We've got two crossed off on our list. Happy days.
Yes.
One thing that I did forget to mention in that bit when they were in the jungle, there's this really big like bear-looking creature, and
it has like red eyes.
It's called a Dryax, and it's got red eyes and it looked really bloody creepy, didn't it? And I was like, that's nightmare fuel, that is.
It is.
But then it gets attacked by like the other Lug hounds. I can't remember. But it gets attacked by them. So yeah, and then that's basically like the episode. So we've ended the first 3 episodes with Omega and Crosshair
leaving the facility,
going off into hyperspace. So where they're going to go, we don't know. You know, we've got Rex and Echo. They're off doing their own mission apparently, according to Wrecker. We've got Hunter and Wrecker doing their own thing. You know, so hopefully they're going to crush like soon. Hopefully.
Maybe.
Now we do see briefly in the trailer, in the sort of in the description, it's classed as CX1, and it's another one of those clone assassins from season 2.
Yeah.
The ones with like no numbers, and it's just like, takes a like a pill, basically, like electrocutes himself and has no distinct number, like his number's white and all that. And we see him like looking on. And obviously, we've seen him in the trailer as well. Yeah.
So you reckon he's going to be going after Omega?
Yeah.
Or possibly Fennec Shand or camping?
Yep.
Or is Nala Se going to use Fennec Shand again to help keep Omega safe?
Maybe. But it's quite interesting. But yeah, no, I think these clone assassins, they're quite important, I reckon.
Yeah.
Now, you want to hear my like out there theory, which would blow everyone away. I reckon it's going to be revealed one of these clone assassins is Fives. I know, it's out there, but hear me out. Palpatine's working on Project Necromancer. Hemlock did say to Omega that he did have plans for Crosshair, which means he could be working on making him like a clone assassin.
Yeah.
So could you imagine if one of the clone assassins was Fives? My gosh, that would be
wow.
That'd be out there.
That would be. Yeah.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on the first 3 episodes out of 10 for all 3?
Out of 10.
Just for like all 3 together, like as a start, what would you say out of 10?
Probably like 8.5.
8.5, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably
enjoyed them.
Probably say about 8.5, 8. I think.
I wouldn't say they're like the best
thing
out there, the Star Wars, but
I think for the story
really
wise, for the whole continuation story, I think they're perfect. Like, yeah, perfect for season 3 and what we're gonna get in the future.
Yeah, and it's really like it's connecting everything together, you know, and we're getting to like the point where we're connecting the sequel trilogy to the originals and stuff.
Yep. So, yeah. Shall we go on to Troopers of the Week? I know we've already been a lot longer than normal.
Well, we did have 3 episodes instead of 1.
That is very true. That is very true.
A bit longer.
So my Trooper of the Week goes by the name Artifiction 66. And they do like very detailed, very good like art. And they've done one of like a Clone Wars, Ahsoka and Rex, and like when you see the finished one afterwards, like right at the end, look how good it looks. Like right for it there.
It looks so cool.
Like it looks like it's.
It like makes me want to get back and do some more art.
Yeah, very good. I would love a Rex one of that. Like it's so cool. Just looks so detailed as well, like, you know, all the markings on it. So Artifaction, that is my Trooper of the Week.
So my one is something a little bit different.
I don't think I'm going to be able to play the sound though, because I think
it might be copyrighted. However, it's a lady playing the violin. She's called Gabrielle Martin on TikTok. So she is playing Binary Sunset, and then it goes into Across the Stars. It's amazing. So
it is good.
I've favorited this one because if I ever get married to you,
it's got to be played. Apparently,
it's got to be played. Because you know, Across the Stars is like the love theme from Star Wars, and it's like Padme's theme and a wedding theme and everything. So just putting it out there.
I remember that.
Yes.
But no, it is very
a bit different. Good. I won't play it in case, you know, it's copyright music, but
yeah, no, it is very good. I will say that.
And it like how she mixes it in as well. Like it goes very smoothly into one song into the other.
Yes, so very cool.
My Trooper of the Week.
That is very.
It impressed me. And now we have meme after meme.
Now I thought this one was very relevant, especially because of the news.
Yeah.
So I saw this one and I was like, this is perfect for this week. Me playing Battlefront 2, my parents wondering why I'm shouting for the Republic at 3 a.m.
Very true.
So yeah, it's like the one in the episode, I can't remember what episode it is, but it's in season 7 of Clone Wars, and Anakin like walks out there and he's like, I'm here to like surrender stuff, and then like Obi-Wan and Cody and like the 212 are like,
Yeah.
what is he doing?
Yeah.
Like looking out
Why
for
is
my
Anakin
rock.
out
But yeah, I thought it was very relevant considering
Yeah.
we're getting.
Battlefront 2.
Oh, I can't wait.
Battlefront Run, but Battlefront 2.
Yeah, Battlefront 1 is like, yeah. Battlefront 2 were like, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
But For the Republic, indeed.
I will be shouting that out.
Yeah.
Be fighting off everyone else. I'll be like, For the Republic.
I'll be playing with you at home, with my headset on, and I'll just hear Will being like, "For the Republic," and then I'll be like, "Get these clankers." Be on my ATRT and tank.
Yes. Yep. You can be my gunner and the pilots because you're not very good at the flying, you say.
Yeah, I'm very
So
not
I'll
good.
fly, you shoot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was quite a good one to end the episode. So that is it for us this week. I know it's been a little bit longer, but 3 episodes to talk
You have a
about.
lot.
So.
And obviously, we're very excited for the game coming out next month.
Oh,
And
also,
we talked about bingo as well.
I just realised something else. We forgot to mention. What have we pre-ordered?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you tell.
You want me to?
No, you tell.
Okay. We officially pre-ordered the other day the Black Series Captain Rex helmet. It's official. It's ordered. He's going to be going with Will the Clone Trooper helmet.
But now you're going to be Rex.
Will the Rex Clone Trooper. Will the Captain Rex.
And I'll be Chloe the Clone Trooper.
Yay! But no, we've ordered it. It's on pre-order. I'm going to give this guy a shout out because, like, we don't know how he does it, but he does it. So we've ordered it off indemandtoys.com. Now, we know it was a reliable source because
we met this guy.
Yeah,
at London Comic Con.
Like last year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we bought the Hauser figure and the Andor figure. And they were really cheap. Like, you couldn't buy them cheaper on eBay. You couldn't get them on Amazon cheaper.
No. I think they were probably £17 for a vintage collection figure.
Yeah, that was going for like 20 plus, So it was like, we're like, you're really cheap for these things. Yeah. So then this Rex helmet was like £5 cheaper than if you were to pre-order it on Hasbro Pulse, which is baffling because that's the company that actually makes it.
Mm-hmm.
His delivery time as well was sooner than them. So yeah, we've had basically an email saying that it is a little bit delayed because of the release date of it, but it should be coming soon.
Very soon. Hopefully by the next episode.
I don't think so.
No.
I'm afraid.
Okay.
But
maybe a couple weeks time.
Maybe like 2 episodes time we might have it by then. Just saying. But I am very excited for it, and we have the Captain Rex helmet.
We do. So in future episodes, you'll see this one and then a Rex.
And there's going to be a Rex next to it as well. It's going to look so cool. But yeah, what a way to end the episode.
Yeah. End it on
a positive for us.
Very cool bit of news that we have coming.
Yes.
But you guys will see it because we're definitely going to post that on Instagram, on our socials, because we got to show you it because I've seen TikTok. Well, both of us have seen TikToks and YouTube videos and stuff of like the welded marks and all the bits of like you can see like bits of blaster fire on his head and bits of dirt and stuff because he's definitely not shiny.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is from like the Ahsoka show as well.
So it's the live action.
Yeah.
Rex. But it's still Rex's helmet. It still looks great. So yeah, we're going to end it there. We'll be back next week, next Thursday, with another Bad Batch episode breakdown.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only one episode that they're releasing next week, I believe.
Oh,
So
I mean, they've just released 3, so I
Yeah.
can't imagine how
yeah, they're gonna be
more
like,
than
right,
one.
come on, guys, you don't get greedy, you know.
However, we want like all the episodes because
I would
I'm
binge
getting
it.
impatient. I need to know what's happening.
If they did release all of them, I think I'd be making a call, being like, I'm not feeling very well. I'm not going to be able to come in for the next couple of days. But yeah, so we will
But also
see.
sometimes they like leave you on a cliffhanger, and you really want to watch the next one.
That's the worst
So
bit.
like, I want to know what happened.
But
And
yeah.
I feel like it was like that at the end of season 2, and I was like, when's season 3?
But yeah, so keep an eye on our bingo as well, because
Yes.
we will be updating that. So yeah, we will see you guys
In the next
next
one.
week. Have a good one.
May the force be with you.
May the force be with you.